Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Lane, and today we're doing a rebuild of the Cleveland Browns. So the reason I'm doing this rebuild, and you know this, is because we want to find out what's going to happen with the Browns without OBJ. They always play fantastic without him. It makes no sense whatsoever. You would think with Jarvis Landry, OBJ, Higgins, Peoples-Jones, they should be fantastic. But Baker with OBJ, they just couldn't connect. And I really can't explain it. Now, they did lose OBJ, and then they played the Bengals, dominated the Bengals, and I am recording this before they play the Patriots, and they're actually underdogs, which is interesting, because the Pats secondary is a little beat up. Of course, the Browns aren't going to have Nick Chubb. They don't have Kareem Hunt, so I'm assuming that's why they're an underdog, because they are a run-first team. We have a good offensive line. They just re-signed Batonio and Wyatt Teller. Very interesting, because you don't see that in back-to-back days with guards. You just don't. Then on defense, they have Clowney. They have Myles Garrett, of course. But their corners have been playing fantastic with Ward, Newsome, Williams. Of course, John Johnson's great. Harrison's great. We do have to work on linebackers, defensive tackles. But we're already in a good shape because we have our quarterback. I think there are some people that say maybe they get rid of Baker Mayfield. Maybe they move on. But I do think I'm going to stick with them in this rebuild unless he plays awful. And I just don't think that's going to happen. So let's get right into it. Now, I do want to mention a lot of you guys have been asking me to use a real draft class in these rebuilds, so we are going to be doing that today. TFG's draft class is a great draft class. And we're going to have to see how this plays out. Now, of course, by importing this in Week 11, we can't super focus our players because this game's just so well made. But we're just going to have to do with that. Let's go to the playoffs. We ended the season at 9-8. I believe the Browns are in first place as of Week 10. So this is kind of crazy. Now, the Steelers 12-5, I want that because I bet on them making the playoffs before the season. I don't think they're going to go 12-5, though. Ravens 12-5, fine. The Bengals, though, 11-6. I'd love to see that because I think they're an up-and-coming team, but there's no chance the Browns aren't going to make the playoffs. One of my favorite things to do is look at the playoff brackets and see what teams made the playoffs, who got the first-round byes. So the Pats got the first-round bye. No chance. Cowboys, first-round bye, maybe. I'll give you that. But the Falcons made the playoffs. Maybe the Bears made the playoffs. Highly doubt. Tennessee's up there. The Bengals are up there. Nothing really out of the ordinary in the AFC other than you want to say maybe the Patriots or the Steelers. But I do think both those teams could make the playoffs. This is what I mean. 3,900 yards is awful in 17 games. I believe he missed 1 week. But that, what does that end up being? 4,100 yards, 4,200 yards, something like that. 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Now that's good. Don't get me wrong, but 3,900 yards is not going to cut it. Now, of course, Nick Chubb's a beast, 1,500 yards with 12 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt had 5. D'Ernest Johnson has 3. When I looked at this and I saw Peoples-Jones was leading the team in receiving, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Then I remembered Jarvis Landry was out for a while, so that's fine. Peoples-Jones 717 with 5. Landry 650 with 6. Higgins 605 with 3. Hooper 4 touchdowns, sure. Njoku, who I have no idea why he's still on the team, 2 touchdowns. They don't throw him the ball. Anthony Walker leading the team in tackles with 136. All right, that's awesome. 17.5 sacks for Myles Garrett, an absolute beast. Clowney behind him with 7, and then 3.5 for Malik Jackson. For interceptions, we have 2 for John Johnson. We have 2 for Mac Wilson, and then a few ones. Nothing crazy for interceptions, but I think their defense is pretty good. Lamar Jackson with the MVP. I don't know about that after the Dolphins game on Thursday night, but that's fine. Mahomes number 2. I doubt it. Prescott's up there. Rodgers up there. Allen, Brady, Stafford. Kirk Cousins at 6-11. Okay. The coach of the year is Mike McCarthy at 15-2. That's fine if they go 15-2. Don't see that happening, though. I thought maybe Nick Chubb would be up here for Offensive Player of the Year, but he's not, so Lamar Jackson's going to win it. Defensive player, TJ Watt beats out Myles Garrett. Wow. I'm going to have to take a look at his stats. Offensive rookie, of course, is going to be Mac Jones at this point. Najee Harris maybe could beat him out, or Jamar Chase, but they typically lean quarterback there, so I do get it. There is a Brown. Demetric Felton at number 10. Then defensive rookie is away. Interesting. And no Browns. I thought maybe Newsome would be up. The Dallas Cowboys are Super Bowl champions, beating the Chiefs 38-26. Basham, the left end, who I've never heard of, Super Bowl MVP. So we have the 18th overall pick, and they're projecting us to get Adam Hutchinson, defensive tackle, but he's projected a first or second round talent, which I absolutely hate. So I can't imagine we're going to go that way. So we don't have a ton of money. Now we have Grant Delpit as a backup for Ronnie Harrison, so I think we're going to stick with that. Malik Jackson, I don't want. Anthony Walker actually had a pretty good year, so let's give him a 3-year deal, increase the money a little bit. 18-5, perfect. We'll bring back our punter. I'll do that off screen. McDowell will bring back for sure. So it's really just Jadeveon Clowney, which I just don't think we have the money for. I don't think he'll take this offer. Yeah, no chance. So the only offer I made was the DJ Chark on a very cheap 2-year deal. So we could have Landry, we could have Chark, we have Peoples-Jones. I think that's a nice group of receivers. And we signed DJ Chark to our team. Perfect. So Aiden Hutchinson, who all the mock drafts projected us to take, is gone off the board. And the more I look around, there is not much up here for me to take. I actually think I might go maybe Isaiah Spiller and let Kareem Hunt go at the end of the year. That seems really, really bad, like really bad. But my other options are Olave, which is right here, or Justin Ross, who's right there. And I don't love that. I think I'd rather go with a running back and Isaiah Spiller. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to hate every single second of it. He does have hidden development, but his athletic ratings are fantastic. In the second round, we're going to go right outside linebacker Brenton Cox Jr. He's normal development, which is fine. Good athletic ratings for a second-round pick. B finesse, C hit power, D impact block, C tackle. I mean, he's a second-round talent. I can't be looking for these home runs in the second round anymore. I got to, get that out of my head. In the third round, we're going to go center Jarrett Patterson. Normal development, 78 strength. Not bad for a third-round pick. B run block. That works perfectly for our team. So Isaiah Spiller is a 74 overall, not bad for an 18th pick running back. In the second round, though, Cox being a 68, that's huge. Then we also got defensive tackle Travis Jones, 68 overall. Then McCreary, 67 overall. I can't believe I forgot about JOK. I feel so stupid, probably because I am pretty stupid. We're an 84 overall team. What happened? McDowell's over at left end. Why? I understand we lost Clowney, but I need him back at defensive tackle. So the offense is actually looking better because we have Kareem Hunt back. We have Conklin back. Really no weak points, which I love. And I thought about putting Kareem Hunt on the trade block, but I want to keep this team together and try to go on a playoff run. So I was looking around for a left end, and then I saw a Super Bowl MVP just sitting there. Could be mine for basically nothing. So he's going to be. So at week 8, when you set your national scout, we are 5-2, so we have the 30th overall pick. In a few weeks, we are going to have to set our 3 super focus players. So I'm going to aim for people in this range: Palmer, Boyle, Maynard, Slauson. So we actually lost 2 games since then, so I think we're going to go in the 24, 25, 26 range. So we're going to go Lipton to get him up to 100. We're going to go Ricard to get him up to 100. And then really, I'm trying to think. I think an end and Corey Black is actually the move. So we ended the season at 11-6, and we'll be playing against the 10-7 Buffalo Bills. But the thing is, the Steelers went 11-6, the Ravens went 11-6, then the Bengals dropping back down to 6-11. The Jaguars made the playoffs, the Eagles, the Bears, the Falcons. What are we talking about? Baker has 4,000 yards exactly. I just don't get it. He should be having more yards than that. 34-7 is fantastic. This is when we have to pay him long term. So we are going to be doing that because 34-7, you're really never going to find better than that in the draft. Maybe we could sign somebody if we wanted to, but I think we'll be fine with Baker Mayfield. Nick Chubb's a beast. 1,800 yards, 16 touchdowns. Should be in the MVP talk. He probably won't be. Kareem Hunt, 564 with 12. Spiller, 40 yards. Landry leading the team with 975 for yards, 9 touchdowns. Chark, 958 with 6. Peoples-Jones, 665 with 8. Hooper, 7 touchdowns. I still don't get that. And then 3 for Kareem Hunt. Walker leading the team in tackles again with 134. JOK right behind him with 102. I mean, could Myles Garrett be any more of a beast? 19 sacks. And then our Super Bowl MVP, Terrell Basham, 4.5. 3 interceptions for JOK and Anthony Walker, who might be up there for Defensive Player of the Year, maybe 2 for Ward, and then a few ones. So we are 5th in offensive yards. By the way, who is head coach John Grant? And we're 3rd in defensive yards. With my luck, it's going to be some legendary head coach, and I'm just an idiot. Mahomes MVP, not too surprising. Nick Chubb, not up there. I feel robbed whenever I don't have one player up there. McCarthy, back-to-back coach of the year, and we are there at 10. So Nick Chubb is up there, number 6 for offensive player. Kaepernick's up there, very realistic. Oh, I went right past Baker Mayfield. Whoops. Defensive player is Von Miller. We do have Myles Garrett at 2. I could have been sworn that Anthony Walker would have been up there. Offensive rookie is Spencer Rattler. That's fine. What? Okay, the game just felt like putting him up there, apparently. Defensive rookie, nothing. Let's see if we can take down Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, who are an 84 overall team, to our 86 overall team. We should be able to beat them. Our points allowed was like number 2 or something like that. And of course we didn't beat them. We lost 27-24. Baker Mayfield, 305. I was like, that's good, but I didn't see a touchdown, and there was 1 interception, which is awful. Allen, touchdown, 201. Chubb, 128, 3 touchdowns. Pretty good. Singletary, 105 with 2. Kareem Hunt, 35 yards. Receiving, Chark, 111. Diggs, 105. Touchdown, Dawson Knox. The 49ers finally winning a Super Bowl, beating the Ravens 21-14. Eric Armstead, Super Bowl MVP. This is going to hurt. So we have to re-sign Joel Bitonio because he got extended in real life. Denzel Ward's going to be a lot of money. Landry at 30 years old, I just don't know if I like that. Treader, we're going to let him go. Baker will bring back. There's going to be a lot of turnover. Greedy Williams, I want to bring back. Taki, I want to bring back. Oh boy, not that AJ Green. No. So I brought back everybody I wanted to. I did also bring back Jack Conklin, but I gave Baker Mayfield a somewhat realistic contract. I didn't go to like $300, $400 million deals. I don't think he's going to get that, but I did bring him back. And we're going to lose a lot of players. Treader's fine because we drafted a center last year. Landry's a little bit of a problem. Kareem Hunt, we're fine. Yeah, we're good. Look at this free agency class. Terry McLaurin, Josh Allen, Marquise Brown's up there. Oh, man. Montez Sweat. So many good players, and we just don't have the money for basically any of them. I am going to make Landry a very cheap, as I was saying, 1-year deal. Landry finally ended up turning our deal down. That's fine. Mock Draft 5 projects us to get defensive tackle Juan Walden. Why would I ever want to do that? So with the 24th overall pick, we're going to go with the scheme fit corner, Delvin Ricard. I know we're pretty good at corners, but hidden development, 56 strength isn't great, but 93 acceleration, 92 speed, 90 change of direction, and agility. So Ricard ended up being a 73 overall, and the rest just aren't that great. I guess the 67 on the right end is all right, but I mean, he's not going to play. It's the only way to put it. So 73 overall will be our number 4 corner, which is perfectly fine for a rookie. And then Turner potentially could get play time eventually, but definitely not this year. So we are an 86 overall team. Spiller ended up having star development, which isn't awesome for a first-round pick, but we'll take it. Peoples-Jones, 78 overall. Schwartz, 72 overall. Receivers are hurting big time. I want Patterson to be starting over Harris. I don't even know who Harris is, to be honest. Then on defense, JOK as superstar, which is great. Forney ended up having hidden development. I did not know that. That's my bad. But really, this defense, top notch. This might be the biggest prank of them all. Re-sign Baker Mayfield to a huge deal with basically the same team. We did lose Jarvis Landry. We lost our center. But really, haven't really lost that much. We're now 3-6. Probably not going to make the playoffs. And we're stuck with Baker Mayfield. I'm super focusing 3 ends just so we can get someone across from Myles Garrett. So it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. We ended the season at 7-10, tied with the Steelers. Ravens 12-5, and the Bengals 8-9. Baker's just being consistent, which I guess is all you could ask for. 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Nick Chubb being a beast again, 1,900 yards, just about 19 touchdowns. Spiller right behind him at 8. DJ Chark, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Schwartz, 940 with 4. Peoples-Jones, 807 with 6. 3 for Hooper. It's not great. Walker, of course, leading the team in tackles with 137. Right behind him, JOK with 120. Only 12 sacks for Myles Garrett, and that isn't only. He had 19 last year, and I think 17.5 the first year. So it is a bit of a drop-off, you have to admit. But I understand sacks aren't consistent, so I get it. 6 for McDowell, 5 for Cox, 3.5 for Jones. 5 interceptions for JOK. He has to be in top 10 for Defensive Player of the Year this time. He has to be. 2 for Ward, Greedy Williams, John Johnson, and Ricard the rookie. 10th in offensive yards. Don't do this to me with the defensive yards. 31st. Okay. That makes perfect sense of why we didn't make the playoffs. Why we're 31st, I don't get that. 12th in points scored. Mahomes, another MVP. Nick Chubb up there at 5. I love that. David Culley, Coach of the Year. Sure. Nick Chubb is number 2 in offensive player. That's a heartbreaking situation right there. Spencer Rattler on the Jets. Interesting. Defensive player is DeForest Buckner. JOK is up there at 6. Myles Garrett at 9. Offensive rookie, I can't imagine. Defensive rookie, 10. Okay, I thought he might have been a little bit higher than that. The only thing I really want to look at is Ricard and Forney. So Forney has superstar and Ricard has star. Fournette was like a 5th round pick or something like that. That's crazy. The Jaguars dominated the Panthers 38-7. Carlton Davis, Super Bowl MVP. So we have about $48 million. We're definitely going to bring back Wills, the left tackle. Hooper can go. Chark, I'll probably give another cheap deal. Delpit will bring back. Peoples-Jones, probably. I don't love anyone else really down there. So it's really, do we bring back John Johnson? That's a long deal. I'm going to see if he takes this. Okay. So I made one offer to Christian Kirk, who's still 27 years old and an 83 overall. And Kirk has accepted our offer. I absolutely love it. I really don't need this corner Hunter, but he's a scheme fit. We know the most about him. And those ends I wanted to take with the super focus just aren't here. I hate it. I'm going to take him. I really do hate this. Hidden development, great athletic ratings, A stamina, A block shed, B man, C zone. That's not great, but we'll take it. Hunter is a 75 overall, which is fantastic. I drafted Lambert, who's a 69 overall tackle. Probably won't see the playing time at all, but I mean, you can't be mad with those 2 picks, I guess. The rest, 67 is not that bad, but the rest aren't that great. So we are an 86 overall team heading into the year. We don't have a great tight end, but everything else about this team is fantastic. I love the offense, the defense, JOK up to superstar X Factor. Fournette will be starting. I mean, we're 5 deep at corner. Even the linebackers, Walker, Taki, it's great. So we are 4-5 at week 11, which isn't fantastic. I don't know if we're going to make the playoffs. There's such a wide range of what could happen here. So I want to go, I think I'm going to check out a quarterback for sure. I think I'm going to check out, I know we don't need much. Let's go Darryl Sapp, a receiver. Wouldn't mind trading up for that. And then just to cover our bases, let's go, I guess we don't need Mike Peake. Let's go. There's not much up here. Warren Backus. Nope. Went 7-10 again. Tied with the Bengals and the Steelers, missing the playoffs. Ravens winning the division at 10-7. He's just so consistent. It annoys me to a degree. 3,800 yards, just about. 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I can't be mad because of the touchdown to interception ratio, good completion percentage, but the yards are awful. Nick Chubb playing great as always. 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns. Spiller, 615, 13 touchdowns. Awesome. Christian Kirk, that's why we brought him in. 71 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Peoples-Jones, 886 with 3. DJ Chark, 806, 5 touchdowns. Hunter Long with 6. JOK now leading the team in tackles, 135, 119 for Walker, who dropped off a little bit. 14 sacks to Garrett, 5.5 for McDowell. And interceptions, 3 for Delpit, 2 for JOK. Then a few ones. Elliott with that MVP. Really? We will be checking that out. Nothing from our team. Coach of the year, Mike McCarthy. Offensive player is Lamar Jackson. Nick Chubb is at 7. Thought he'd be a little bit higher than that, but I guess not. Defensive player, TJ Watt. Garrett at 3 for some reason. So that's why. About 1,900 yards with 24 touchdowns for Elliott for rushing. Receiving, he has 356 touchdowns, so 30 touchdowns for one guy. Yeah, I'd give it to him too, probably at that point. So once again, the only thing I'm really worried about is our corner and Hunter, who has star development, but he's a 78 overall. The Cowboys winning another Super Bowl, 28-17, beating the Ravens, and Dak Prescott. I think that might be the first offensive player, yep, so far in this rebuild to win a Super Bowl MVP. So we have $35 million in cap space, and I want to bring back Nick Chubb, of course, JOK, of course, Newsome. You could argue we could let him go if we really need to. Walker can go, McDowell can go, Felton can go. That'd be quite the move to let Greg Newsome walk out the door, but I think I might do it so we could spend some money in free agency for once. But we'll see. So I actually made an offer to him, but he turned us down. It leaves us with $8 million. I don't know if that's like enough to do anything in free agency, but we're going to give it a try. I think we are set at corner where we don't need to bring him back. So there's a lot of great players at the top of free agency, but we don't have a ton of money. So I made an offer to David Andrews to come in, be our starting center. But check out some of these names. Greg Newsome, of course. Bolton's up there. Barrett, Griffin. Tucker's up there if you want him. Hardman, Humphreys up there, which I'd love to bring him in. We just don't have the money. Then, of course, DeAndre Hopkins. And David Andrews is on the squad. So there's a receiver I want up here at the top of the draft. We have the 8th overall pick. I think I'm going to trade up with the Raiders, maybe? Cody Thurman's gone. Maybe we go Cole. Oh, that's not Colts. That's Chargers. I'm trading our 1st, 3rd, and 4th round pick to trade up a few picks. And then we're going to get Sapp, that receiver. Let's take him. Receiver Darryl Sapp. Hidden development, 91 speed, 88 jumping, 95 agility, and 94 acceleration. I'd like to mention how much this game sucks. because I just sat at a screen that was blank for a good 5 minutes. And nothing happened. We're going to go left tackle in the second round. Morris Foster, who looks fantastic. Hidden development, 86 strength. So I only really care about 2 of these players. Sapp, 78 overall, fantastic. Foster, 71. Perfect draft. So in our final year, we're an 85 overall team. We still don't have that tight end for the team, which is kind of unfortunate. But everything else is good on offense. On defense, could be a little bit better right outside linebacker, but that is the guy we drafted year 1, and our defensive tackles. But let's go to the playoffs. So we made the playoffs. We're 9-8. I don't love that. We're playing against the 11-6 Pittsburgh Steelers, who won our division. Bengals 9-8 and the Ravens 7-10. Baker Mayfield, big time with yards this season. 4,300 yards, 29-12. Pretty happy with that. Chubb, 1,800 yards, 29 touchdowns. What planet are we on? 29? What did he have for receiving touchdowns? So he had 31 touchdowns. That's more than Elliott had total last year. So he should win MVP. Kirk Cousins with 8, Chark Cousins with 5. That's our tight end. Where is Sapp? 266, 2 touchdowns is what, a number 4 guy, I think it was? JOK, 103 tackles. For sacks, 16.5 for Garrett, 7 for Jones, 5 for Forney. And interceptions, 3 for Ward, 2 for Andrews, JOK, and KJ Britt. One thing I wanted to check was Elliott's stats. He's almost has 2,000 yards with 20 touchdowns rushing. And then he had 4. Okay, I mean, we got to win this MVP. We're 7th in offensive yards. Give me the defensive yards. And who is, Brandon Staley. Okay, 16th defensive yards. Not great. You got to be kidding me. This game's a joke. A complete and utter joke. I just don't. Was it McCaffrey? I got to go look at that. So Mahomes had less than 5,000 yards, 47-7, which is good. But, I mean, this game's awful. 1,700 yards, 22 touchdowns. So he needs like 11, I guess not 11, like 10 receiving touchdowns. 9-10's good, don't get me wrong. 5 touchdowns. I don't want to be overdramatic, but this game's awful. How does he not win MVP? We don't know Foster's development. We don't know Sapp's development, but 82-76, pretty good. Let's see if we can take down the Steelers, though. Make it to the next round, at least. We did. Beat them 21-14. Now we're playing against the Pats, who are 13-4 to make it to the AFC Championship. I think it said they were an 86 overall, and we lost 42-27. It is still Mac Jones, 318, 4-1. Mayfield, 306, 2-1. Chubb, 120 with a touchdown. 2 for Damian Harris, nice. And then receiving, Peoples-Jones, 123 with a touchdown. Chark, touchdown. 2 for Henry, 1 for Treylon Burks, and 1 for Reynolds. I thought the Cowboys were going to win 3 championships, but I guess not. Chiefs beating them 42-35. Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP. Let's take one final look at our team. So Sapp ended up having star development, and Foster had star development. It's unfortunate, but that's good. Spiller, we drafted as star development. Anybody else on offense? I don't think so. On defense, we drafted Cox, who has normal. Forney, technically, we drafted, but, you know, superstar development. Ricard with star, rather, sorry. Hunter with star. I mean, this team's way better than this. Like, it's the game. It's Madden. I'm so sick of this game. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next time.